Hi, and welcome to our show. We're going to be talking today to some very resourceful young women, and the name of the organization is called Vaughan Mompreneurs, so it's based in Vaughan, but I think that this is a growing trend that we're seeing. It's about people networking and finding their niche. So the niche here is young mothers running their own businesses, either from home or outside the home, and working within their community, either for their own, enterprising businesses, or even to promote some kind of local charities and things like that. So my first guest is Vaughan Mompreneur herself. The VP is Patricia Curto, and welcome to our show. So you live in Vaughan and you work in Vaughan and you grew up in Vaughan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and you love Vaughan. So we're here to talk about positive things, because too often Vaughan is in the news in a bit of a negative political light, but this is like one of the really success stories, I think, in Vaughan. And how did you get this idea? What pushed you to start?
I'm a mother of three, so I was an ECE working at a childcare, and I had my third child as a surprise. And when she was born and after my year came up, I was a stay-at-home mom. I couldn't afford to, pay for childcare, so I was trying to find a way to, think of an extra income to come in. So I was contemplating an online child boutique, and I was looking at all these businesses, and I came across the Milton Mompreneur Showcase, which was in Milton. And I thought, you know what, this would be such an amazing opportunity to bring to Vaughan. I know there's so many moms that have businesses here. We need this in Vaughan. There's not really many mom-oriented organizations or events happening. So I spoke with Maria Locker at the time, and I became...
Who's Maria? She's
Maria's
from Milton?
The owner of Milton Mompreneurs, and now she's opened Ontario Mompreneurs because I was her first franchisee.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we started last year, February, and had our first showcase in June, and that's how it all started.
So you've had one showcase so far?
Yes.
And you were involved in the Vaughan Tweet Up, or you just participated? Did you help plan that and promote that?
Yes, I helped organize that. I came up with this idea because Vaughan itself there's not very many community, businesses or people in Vaughan on Twitter. And I thought we need something to kind of connect us all together. So I called Kim Champion, the editor of the Vaughan Citizen, and I said, you're very popular, you've got a big growing, following. I said, and so do I. I said, let's join forces and get the community onto Twitter. She goes, that's such an amazing idea. She goes, I have the resources here, you have the resources there, let's do this. So we came up with the Vaughan Tweet Up. We had our first Vaughan Tweet Up in November, and our second one's going to be February.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to coming to the second one, because the first one, unfortunately, I was busy. Will it be at Alice Fazuli again?
It's going to be at Alice Fazuli again.
Near Colossus.
Yes, and it's just a way for, we talk on Twitter, and I see you, I see your avatar, but I don't know you, so it's a good way to connect with you on a personal level.
So did people wear name badges?
We actually have T-shirts that say, so mine says at Vaughan Mom Show. It says I'm on Twitter, and this is at Vaughan Mom Show, so your Twitter handle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So how many moms do you have now? And what happens if somebody calls you and says, I want to join your network, but I'm not a mother?
I don't ever turn anybody down.
Okay.
I don't know if this person wants to be a mom, was a mom, is trying to be a mom, or one day be a mom.
Or wants to network with mom or sell their product.
That's right. So I don't ever say, no, you're not allowed. I welcome everybody in.
Okay, so what are your numbers like? How's it going?
We don't really go by numbers yet. We've actually just going to be launching our new site in the next month and new memberships, and that's when everything will start be calculating.
So this is the website that
I
had.
That's the website, yeah. The website name still says the same, but we're just changing the look of it and the feel of it. It becomes more informative for the mompreneurs. And then that will start calculating numbers at that point. But right now, it's pretty much anybody who participates in our networking events, our showcases, when we do community events. Anybody I kind of associate myself with is a mompreneur, is a Vaughan mompreneur. So
what kind of feedback are you getting from people? They feel that it's being very helpful, or what kind of businesses?
Yes, I'm getting positive feedback from everybody. My goal is to help these mompreneurs find the best way to advertise their business and to let the community know that they exist. So sometimes it is through print like Snap Woodbridge. A lot of the times it's through social media. I find social media is the best and most informative way for them to showcase their business without having all these expensive costs.
So you help them promote, you help them use social media, Facebook and Twitter, and all that. So you have a Facebook page, not just your own personal?
Yes.
And you promote, obviously, you help promote, and I'm sure that, are there ever complaints that somebody feels you're promoting one customer over another? No?
No. For the showcase itself, my goal is to promote the sponsors as well, because they're the big part of the showcase. But in general, mompreneurs are more than welcome to post themselves and their businesses on my page at any point as well. So if
So
there's
we
something...
have a couple of women coming in later in the show, and I want to hear about, from their point of view,
Yes.
of how helpful it's been. And I think that a lot of the success is just that you're a friendly person and you're hardworking, and I see all your networking and posts and things like that. So I know you're really, you know, putting a real effort. Too often people think like a business is going to get off the ground without too much work, and that's just not true.
That's right.
But you're also sort of supporting, is it Ryan's Room at York Central Hospital?
Zach Stream.
Oh, is that?
Zach Stream.
Zach
Stream.
Zach Stream.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking of something else. So Zach Stream, but it is at York Central Hospital.
It's at York Central Hospital, yes.
And obviously you're looking forward to promoting a Vaughan hospital someday.
Yes. Yes.
But for now, Vaughan...
that's the closest hospital here.
That's the closest hospital
yes.
to Vaughan.
And Heather, Zach's mom, is a very good friend of mine. And when I heard about her story, I thought, what better way for me to kind of be a part of that and to help out as much as I can than to bring the showcase into it. And so all the proceeds from the admission and the silent auction, 100% will be donated to Zach Stream.
Okay, well, we're going to have to find out about Zach Stream on another show,
Yes.
and maybe have his mom come on.
It's a very touching story.
So in terms of women helping women, you know, it doesn't have a great image, women mentoring women. We hear too often that women are happy to help men in business, and men obviously are happy to network with men in business. And too often I almost think it's a biological flaw that women have, that they don't seem to work in tandem the way men do. A new woman, you know, to give you an example, in the corporate world, a new woman shows up on the scene, and there's women already in the workplace, and I've heard it so often from people that the women are sort of coolly receptive, as opposed to men. They'll drag the man into their office, you know, say, come for lunch with me, and give him advice about, you know, the little quirks of the company and who to stay away from and who to trust and that sort of thing. And so this is, on a totally personal note, I like to see this kind of things. I'm very interested in mentoring, how it works and why it works, and I think that there's too little of it for women, that they're naturally somehow competitive, and they bring it into the business world as well, which is unfortunate. So I think that within your little community, it's almost as though there should be some kind of relationship between certain businesses that can work together and help each other. Maybe set share a website and share the expenses. Maybe they can, cross-refer, that anytime somebody purchases a product from, say, one of the businesses, that they get a brochure or a card to advertise related businesses. Is that something that you're working on? Like, what do you do other than hold the showcase and advertise on the website? What are you offering them?
We do networking events. So we just had our last one Friday night, and we had it at Blow Dry Bar. Okay. And we had about 40 to 50 women attend this event. They got complimentary blow dries, blow teenies, some cupcakes from Oh So Sweet, and catering from Amber Chef. And we were there to network. We were there to meet other women in business, other moms that, you know, have the same lifestyle as us, or try to balance being a mom and running a business at the same time. And that's what those events are for, is to connect with those women and be able to cross-promote and be able to refer each other in the long run. If I know a real estate agent, here's, you know, a real estate agent here, if I'm selling a house, I'll introduce her to someone. They might use her services in the next year because they just met her on a personal level and they connected with her.
What about a point system? Because that's so popular now, that if there's Vaughan Mompreneur points or something, that each time you use a business that you're building up to a prize each year, or it doesn't have to be something very complicated or difficult, but to push people to stay within the Vaughan Mompreneur group, even throughout the province. It doesn't just have to be Vaughan Mompreneur, maybe it could be Milton or Ontario Mompreneur. Has anybody discussed that? No?
We haven't discussed it at all, but it should come naturally. They shouldn't have to feel like I'm going to get a reward just for the referral. It should be something that I know this person now and I like her products or her services, and if I come across someone who needs it, I'm definitely going to refer it. And I'm hoping that it would work amongst everybody that way. Yeah,
we really have to all help each other, not just young mothers, but I think Vaughan residents as well.
That's right.
I think it's too often that people travel out of Vaughan into the city and aren't supporting local businesses, and the reality is that those businesses, if they don't thrive, it hurts us all, because when there's boarded up stores or empty stores in your neighborhood, it's not helping the value of your house.
That's right.
And also the traffic and the gridlock and all that. So I think it's wonderful that people can just go to your website. So I'm going to say it again, vaughanmompreneurs.com. And it says here, in case people can't read it, joining forces with other hardworking moms to liven up our passions. And I think that that's what it's about. You're bringing a lot of passion to this.
Yes.
And I think that there's a social aspect to this, that I bet there's a lot of friendships being made. And I think that that's also very helpful. I think that young mothers are often too isolated, and it's hard to get out, it's hard to go places. And if they can even visit each other with their kids, or help each other if they want to maybe share babysitting. One day a week I watch your kids, and one day a week you watch my kids.
It's been done.
So we need to go back to the old village, the old community where people helped each other.
That's right.
We've kind of lost that. And I think that the people who find it the most difficult are the people with young children, because grandparents live far away or grandparents are working now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that sense of community. So I love the idea of the community. And we're going to take a short break, and we're going to meet a couple of your customers, clients. What do you call them?
Friends.
Friends. Okay, so Vaughan friends.
Vaughan Mompreneurs.
Okay, so thanks very much for joining us, Patricia.
Thank you.
And you're going to stay and chat, I hope, with our next couple of guests.
Yes.
Thanks. Hi and welcome back. I'm here with Patricia Curto. Sorry if I said Curtab before. I was corrected. And one of your Vaughan Mompreneurs' very successful clients, I believe, Lisa Sinopoli. And Lisa, you are a real estate agent and a blogger. And that's kind of a fun topic. So tell us a little bit about why you got into real estate and why are you doing this blog? What do you hope to achieve?
I started my real estate career 21 years ago.
Okay.
I love the industry. Real estate is a topic that a lot of people have concern about and like to talk about. And starting a blog for me was something that I wanted to establish a relationship with people. I wanted people to get to know me on a personal level as opposed to a business level. So in doing some research with social media, I found that blogging is something that a lot of people are starting to do. And I started it about a year ago.
And is it personal things on the blog, or do you stick to real estate topics? How often are you posting?
I actually incorporate some real estate topics in my blog. I do feature local businesses. I also feature openings or events happening. Some real estate topics are mentioned in there. Things that I do sometimes are mentioned in there too, just trying to get people associated with how I am on a personal level.
So would you go on her blog? Tell us truthfully.
Of course I do.
All the time.
I was a feature on her blog.
Okay, great. And because that's what it's about. It's all about, sort of entertaining people while giving them information. And that might sound very easy to people, but it's not so easy. It takes a certain personality, and it also, you have to constantly keep changing things. People get bored if they go on your blog and nothing new is up there. So on the one hand, it might be hard to put stuff off every day, but you figure if people go on every second day, so then maybe you're safe every second day. How often do you find your posting?
It actually depends on what I have on the go. I have a few local businesses that are being featured in there right now. I just started my new office at Remax Premier the beginning of the year. And I'm just...
Where's the office?
Jane and Rutherford.
Jane and Rutherford.
Yes.
So which corner?
Southwest corner.
Southwest corner, so people can walk in any time and they can ask for Lisa. Yes. And hopefully you're there, or they can leave a message, or one of the other
email
agents
or tweet or...
So the blog is Vaughan Realty.
VaughanRealtyBlog.ca.
VaughanRealtyBlog.ca. So people can go on and check it out. I don't know quite what you're doing to make it interesting, but part of me is to give other people suggestions. Mm-hmm. So here's my suggestion for Lisa.
Okay.
Find a client who doesn't mind being out there. Maybe they have a business and they're happy to promote themselves, or they're just a bit of an exhibitionist. And post what houses you've shown them and how they felt, and each time that they see a house, maybe get a quote from them or a comment from them, and it becomes like a reality TV show. Mm-hmm. That people are seeing. Say Patricia needs a house, and you've shown her this house, and she thought it was too close to train tracks, and you showed her another house, and it was too busy a street, or the house itself, and then you try to explain to her why she shouldn't focus so much on the house, that the location is what's important, and it's a great school nearby, and how you're advising her, and people say, well, that's sort of how I feel about real estate, that I need an agent who's not just going to show me houses and push me to buy. I want an agent who's going to educate me on what matters. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what most especially young families need in terms of real estate, is they need an agent to tell them, listen, a kitchen can always be changed, but the location can't be changed.
Absolutely.
And what about the actual condition of the house? Do you feel comfortable with the home inspections and things like that?
Yes.
Do you work with builders ever, or renovators? Or?
I do have a variety of people that I've developed relationships and trust them dearly over the last 21 years in business. So I do offer recommendations or referrals to home inspectors, financial advisors, mortgage representatives, lawyers, accountants, general contractors, depending on everyone's situation. So I do offer that, yes.
So it's fantastic, and I'm sure real estate in Vaughan is hopping.
Yes.
I think it's really an attractive place to live and to work, and more people are working north of the city, so that makes it very attractive. So what has Patricia done to help your business?
I met Patricia through Twitter back in November, and I have to say that she's been phenomenal with organizing events, helping promote myself and my name in a manner where social media is still very new to the 905 area code. And through her, I've met some fantastic women. We've had networking events in the Twitter party that we had back at Alice Fazzuli's, and I'm making connections and meeting people on a personal level, and hopefully in the near future, when someone does require something because of our past meetings and communications, that we refer each other business, and that's where I'd like to take my business.
Right.
And she's helped immensely with that.
Patricia, has anybody ever said to you, I want to be the exclusive real estate agent in this network or anything like that? You know, because that's a tricky one. And I think that's where sort of difficulties can arise, where you have somebody like Lisa who's been with the organization, you know, a little bit from the get-go. And if too many other real estate agents start, you know, pushing in to the network. But I guess that, you know, a lot of times people are attracted, they say, when an area sort of has more than one. You know, people say if there's two jewelry stores next to each other, that actually both of them will do better than separately, because people say, well, I'll go back and forth between the two and compare and things like that. And you actually are better off working together and saying, well, you know what, I don't have any listings in that area, but Lisa might, and not being so competitive. Do you find that in real estate women are competitive, overly so more than the men?
It is a very competitive business, so I do find that there is a lot of competition going on, yes.
Well, I hope that the women are trying to put aside some of their differences and support each other, and work together. You know, so often in real estate you see husbands and wives working together, and I have worked with my husband in the past, and you know, I didn't find it terribly challenging, but we kind of had our separate niche, what we were doing, so we weren't like actually in the same space all the time. But I think that in real estate that seems to be, do you find that that's a trend, that there's a lot of husband and wives and brothers and sisters and
partnerships and teams, and yeah, there's a lot of that stuff going on in real estate.
So you're looking forward to the next showcase for the Vaughan Mompreneurs.
First one.
And what will you be doing there? Will you be setting up a booth? Will Patricia help you with setup?
Lisa's a sponsor for the showcase.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only exclusivity that I have in regards to the whole Vaughan Mompreneur organization, is if you are a sponsor, you do get exclusivity for just the showcase itself as a sponsor. So she will be getting a booth and doing some special stuff at the booth. She's there to connect one-on-one with the community, and that's what the showcase is about. Instead of, you know, people seeing her name everywhere, she's actually there physically and able to connect one-on-one with these families and let them know that she's a fabulous person, she's a fabulous real estate agent, and when you're ready, here's my card.
That's fantastic. And will you collect people, if you go to, say, Vaughan Showcase, do you feel comfortable saying to people, are you on Twitter, or will you follow me on Twitter, or Facebook? Do you have a separate Facebook real estate from your personal?
I do have my own Facebook business page, Lisa Sinopoli, Remax Premier.
Okay, and so you're not shy about it, I hope. You know, I think that, you know, in real estate and in Patricia's Vaughan Mompreneurs enterprise, I think that, you know, you have to not be shy, and, you know, you're standing in line and you're waiting your turn somewhere, and not to be embarrassed to pull out your business card and say, you know, I'm not stalking you, but I am stalking you. No, I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but, you know, do you mind if I just tell you a little bit? We're just standing in line at the grocery store anyhow. And to tell you a little bit what's going on and things like that. I'll often network with people in the neighborhood, and I'll say I'll get the odd sort of strange look, but very rare. I'm surprised. Maybe it's because I'm short. Maybe that's why. That, you know, when you're short, you can kind of get away, and people aren't going to be too intimidated by you. So I want to thank Lisa for coming on.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you again at the showcase and at the next Tweet Up. And all the twits that I call them in Vaughan. But it's...
Follow me on Twitter.
I am going to look for you on Twitter, because I've been following Patricia, and that's how we connected. And that's how you're here today. So if people think that Twitter is just a waste of time, it depends what you're, you know, interested in doing with your life, and you have to just, I think, have a bit of self-control with some of the social media, and not to let it take up your whole day. Okay, just, you know, take your turn on Scrabble every now and then. But other than that, so thanks, ladies. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back. So we've had Lisa Sinopoli so far, and Patricia Curto from Vaughan Mompreneurs, and next we're going to have somebody very sweet who's going to make us all crave and run out and get a cupcake. But I want to thank her for not bringing any cupcakes today. So we'll see you in a minute. Thanks. Bye-bye. And welcome back. We're talking now about something very sweet, cupcakes and cookies and baked goods, with another Vaughan Mompreneur client named Rosa Cirillo. I kind of want to say Cirillo because I want to learn how to speak Italian, but Cirillo is the way we're speaking today. And it's called Oh So Sweet. You're wearing a beautiful t-shirt.
Thank you.
And you're working out of your house right now?
Right now I've been working out of my home for over 4 years. It's something that I started when I was home when I had my son. And it's developed. It's gone big. It's gone busy enough that we've decided to move out of the home into an actual location. And
where's the location?
It's going to be in Vaughan at Weston Road and Carloran, which is it's south of Langstaff, north of Highway 7, so smack in the middle.
Okay.
You know, we'll be doing a lot of things there. We're a nut-free business, so we've got cupcakes and cakes and cookies and novelty chocolates. And another aspect is we also do children's baking parties and decorating parties.
Oh.
We also do like ladies' night if, you know, for those moms who aren't comfortable in the kitchen, they can come out to the facility and bake up some cookies, and they can take them home and pawn them off as their own. And you know, we have some fun activities that are going to be coming up, and
maybe you'll do some corporate events because they're
sure,
always
corporate
looking for
events,
things
team building. It's a great thing. I've also gone into locations, so going into daycares and schools and doing some programming with the kids there, and because it's very important. Like, you know, it's fun, but it also gets awareness for children. Also that, you know. They learn math with having to do measurements and stuff, and then having to read recipes. It enhances their literacy and stuff. So there's little, you know, you bring in that stuff too. Like, it's not just fun, but it's getting the kids involved and not getting them off the couch and, bringing them into the parties and the programs that we'll be doing. And, they get, excited about baking with me, then going home, like they're not, want to get with their parents and start making cookies.
So
and
it's free
stuff.
too, and that's
free. It's very
that's
important
the
if you're gonna
biggest
do it.
aspect of it, because there's so many allergies with the children nowadays that to be able to have a birthday party or to be able to order somewhere and not have to worry about not your child alone, but just the other children that you're inviting to the party, you sometimes you just never know. It's already covered. It's it's a safe aspect.
Yeah, I think people are getting used to the nut-free now a little bit more.
And the facility and everything will be included when I do the parties. Like, I can't control people bringing in food, so it'll be a one-stop shop. You just have to come in, bring your kids, and I will provide all your food and drinks and cakes and activities and.
So is there
everything.
a Vaughan mompreneur who does loot bags or something that you're networking with?
No, I do my own loot bags too.
Oh, you do your own loot
Yeah, I
bags
do my own loot bags too. So,
so that's great.
I don't see no.
One-stop party shop.
That's what
Okay.
it is.
And what about retail? Can people come in and buy a few
Yes,
cupcakes?
I will have.
They don't have to order in advance?
No, order in advance is great, but I will also have a storefront, and we'll be open 6 days a week.
Okay, and what if somebody's doing a party and they want to get the cupcake stand? I always love those cupcake stands, but then who wants to store it for?
I'll
till you're
have
doing
them.
it?
I have some for rent. I have the larger ones for rent, and then I also have another stand that I have on that can be purchased, so you don't have to come back and you can take it home and keep it for future parties.
And what about those plastic cupcake containers?
That's
to
what I
bring
go
it-
traveling in with.
That's what
Okay.
she brings them to
I
you.
bring them to you, and if I'm doing the setup, I have them all in there. But then I have nice boxes that I have them all arranged in.
So you have it arranged. So you're not doing cakes, you're doing more cupcakes?
I've started doing a lot more cakes within the past year, and I also do the decorative cookies in every shape, form, color.
Your
Also,
biscottis are to
Valentine's
die
Day is
for.
coming up.
Valentine's Day, and then
And
at
instead
Christmas
of-
time was the big biscotti craze. That's,
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of cookies that I make around Christmas time for, especially for businesses and for parties and whatnot.
Okay, so I'm going to suggest to people that maybe they want to come visit or order.
Sure.
And you have a website, ohsosweet.ca.
That's right. I'm also on Facebook and I'm on Twitter. Thanks to Patricia.
Okay, so what's the Twitter avatar?
It's Rosa_also_sweet.
Rosa_also_sweet.
And I've got a
but
Facebook
anybody
page.
can go to Vaughan Mompreneurs. But on Twitter, it's not Vaughan Mompreneurs. It's just
Vaughan Mom Show.
Vaughan Mom Show. I knew it was something a little different. So Vaughan Mom Show for Twitter, and they can ask you if they want to connect with somebody else. But what was Lisa's Twitter avatar?
Sinopoli.
Lisa Sinopoli. Okay, so I want everybody to try to connect, and I want especially all the Vaughan, I always say to people that let's all try to follow each other and support each other and retweet if somebody's doing something interesting to help promote with your neighbors. And what do you feel is, important for you in terms of networking? Like, how is Patricia helping you? Why is it better to be attached to Patricia's, except, other than the whole social scene, which I'm guessing that there is a social scene.
Before I met Patricia, I was, like I say, a social media virgin. I had no clue. I had the Facebook page, yes, but the Twitter and having to get involved with everything, I had no clue about that. And I did have, I do have a good client base through word of mouth and whatnot, but I did want to expand that if I was going to decide to open up, which I am now. So lucky. With this, it's helped. I've met a lot of new people, a lot of new moms, got some referrals and whatnot. So it's opened up a different avenue for me.
So
I do a lot of community events. I work with a lot of events, and what I do is I use my mompreneurs. So when I'll give you an example. VBEC is doing their Business to Business Expo in February, and she's like, Pat, I need someone to do a centerpiece. So I thought, you know what? Oh, so sweet. Do some nice cupcake centerpieces. My networking events, I'll grab some mompreneurs to kind of maybe someone who does parties will do the centerpieces and decorate the tables. I utilize my mompreneurs as much as I could when we do events, so they get that exposure. It's free advertising for them. They don't pay. They're just providing their service or their product, but that's a great way for them to get out, to get that exposure.
So are you going to do some, we're going to talk a little bit about your showcase. Are you going to do some showcases maybe once you know, it gets too big to have everybody at one showcase, maybe themes, you know, parties. So it's just everybody who's related to parties, party planners, also suites and things like that.
Could be a possibility.
You know, I see it as growing,
Yeah,
and I think
that's
that
right.
you have to just keep, you know, refocusing it and finding that niche. So you're going to be at the next showcase,
Yes,
I hope.
I'm
your
also a
cupcakes?
sponsor there. I'll have cupcakes and cookies to
So will they be
try and
samples,
present.
or people can
I'll
buy?
have samples, and I'll have samples and also to purchase, and
Kids are actually going to be decorating them. That's part of
Okay.
an entertainment for them there.
Oh, so that's fun for people to come in to do. And what about for, say, special occasions? You know, are there, you know, obviously for weddings, and we know for Valentine's Day.
oh, then there's all the the religious events also, like
Okay.
you know, communions and confirmations and
Birthdays.
and then there's everything under the sun, like you know, anniversaries and bridal showers, and it's huge.
So do you see cupcakes staying in style? Because it's been a fad the last few years.
I think Sex and the City
Right,
for
yeah,
you know, making it as big as it is. But you know, a lot of people are also understanding that what I tell people when they they want a cake or a cupcake, they says, well, if I get cupcakes, are everybody going to eat them? And I go, understand, when you get cupcakes, there's no waste.
Right.
You're ordering for that one. You order a little extra, but there's no waste. Like instead of getting those huge cakes, then you've got a huge slab left over. I think that's the ongoing trend, and a lot of people are liking the cupcakes that you can have them personalized or whatnot. And
We had them yesterday for my daughter's birthday last night. So I had about 10 people, but I ordered 15, and they were gone. This morning, they're all gone.
I just happen to like the way they look. I just
Yes,
find
well,
it's
she
just much
decorates them
cuter
really
than
well.
just a cake, and especially with the stands that twirl upwards. And I never get tired of looking at it. So that's just me. And I think that cookies kind of also are fun when they have the the big cookies that have a message, get well soon, and things like that.
well, I also do even the smaller cookies, like if you want to get them out as loop bags, or even at weddings to put them on everybody's plate, or at birthdays, personalized with a child's name on it, a picture, or the sky's the limit with them.
Okay, great. So this is, kind of making me hungry. But we want to hear a little bit about what you have planned for the showcase before we move on to other things. So what do you think, Patricia? Your showcase, where's it going to be?
It's at Paradise Banquet Hall on
Okay.
Highway 7 in Jane.
Right.
And I just don't even have words right now. There's amazing things are going to happen. So you walk in as a family, you come in, and there's going to be a whole kids zone. Mums and Chums is doing their birthday bash with a jumping castle. Rose is going to have also sweet cupcake decorating. PTPA is going to be doing some child testing toys that they have that are winners. Tutor Doctor is bringing in a very special guest, Shane Smith, who's going to be talking to kids about how to motivate them at school. And each vendor themselves are going to bring something to the table. Are going to have offers and special deals and promotions, and it's a way for the community to see that you don't need to go online and buy in the States. You don't need to drive downtown to go find something. Everything's right here in Vaughan or within local GTA right around us, Richmond Hill and Thornhill. It's all right here. It's just a matter of knowing, and that's what the showcase is about, is to let the community know that these mompreneurs are here and they've got the products you're looking for.
And it's March 25th?
March 25th.
And what time does it start?
10 to 4.
10 to 4. Perfect. So that's a Sunday.
Yeah, we have Nanny Rubina, who's coming as well as a parenting expert to talk to the parents for a little bit. I have a little guest speaker there, and we're going to have some more kids' entertainment, a character. So a lot of great things happening.
And what about lunch food?
Paradise Banquet Hall is actually providing the lunch as well, so they're there for the parents to sit down and eat with them. There is a cost, but it's very minimal.
Okay, so
it's
people can go for lunch.
Breastfeeding room, everything's there.
Okay, wonderful. And I think that, it's really going to be fun. It's going to be fun for Vaughan.
Yes.
I hope everybody's going to come out.
I
think it's going to be a big crowd. So get there early so you can get parking. There is lots of free parking. We're not downtown. We're in Vaughan, and we would like if people take public transportation, but it's on a Sunday, so they're pushing us
Carpool.
to or people can carpool. Well, I'm sure they have their kids and they have their car seats buckled in properly.
That's right.
So looking forward to seeing everybody there, Patricia and Rosa and Lisa, who was on before, and then all the other Vaughan Mompreneurs, and tell them good for them for trying to fit in their work schedule around their kids' schedule and for helping each other. That's what I really like. I really like to see these women helping each other. So thanks for tuning in, and we're going to see you again next week.